Big number, big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dame pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 50, clear.
Tight end left. We got 4. We got 4.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Go, go. Sit. Blue dot Corkers, blue dot Corkers.
From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Target.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes the Lions punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move, but couldn't free much space. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jones. And an alley to run. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Hines. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Here we go, dear. Sponge. No.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, McNair gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's McNair. The open man is Smith. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On 1st down, Hines. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Running right, Jones. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Jones. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 22 jet bombers, ready, go!
Ito Smith, his first carry, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Let's go.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard.
Kaepernick hit. Fumble. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. And he's going to go down again. It's the former Lion, Ndamukong Suh, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Again, 11 on the play. And a Bengal first down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Here we go.
A reminder. reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
44, Mike, 44. Nice, sweetheart. Yeah.
Bo's to Mike. Mike's Bo. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
On first down, it's McNair. And he finds his tight end, Graham. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down, it's Hines. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Nyheim Hines, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Ready? 1500. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Go.
From the gun on third down, McNair, he's got his man. That's Hardman. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Hey, check. 3 down.
They'll go again to Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
To throw, McNair. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Throwing again. McNair. Caught by Jones.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And it's 3rd down.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They run with Hines. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. The kick by Maher is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready, go.
Mike's by 4.
Hey, Bravo.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want
And the snap comes at 1. Now Kaepernick. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jones. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here we go. 6 yards. Let's pick it up. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
I've got Mike T right here, guys. Mike T. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 3rd down, McNair. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards.
And a Bengal 1st down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
They're going to run forward Jones. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Taylor. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. He's got Harrison left side complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Kaepernick now to throw. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Aqib Talib there to stop him.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 34.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D.
Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
This is caught. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. This is 3rd and goal, still looking for the first points of the game. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Andy Janovich, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On 3rd and 2, McNair. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mecole Hardman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Taken down back at the 15-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Aaron Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Their catch made at the 25-yard line. The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Wide open receiver complete. And the Bengals grab it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
San Lobo, check 56. All day, all day. Kill. Ready.
One final try for Kaepernick. We've seen this before. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Cincinnati, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.